Welcome, Crush fans. This episode is brought to you by Guthrie Medical Center in Cortland, New York. Guthrie Medical Center, bringing Cortland the best in medical care for over 125 years.
Hello, Cortland Crush baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of the 2021 Crush Cast. I'm your host, Steve Durr, and with me today is my other broadcasting partner for this summer, Jesse Morrisson. We here are going to preview the MLB season because, Jesse and I love baseball. So thank you for tuning into this Crush Cast presented by Guthrie Medical Center. Jesse, how are you today?
I'm doing great, ready to talk some baseball.
Let's just get right into Jesse because we love baseball so much. Let's talk about the American League first. Obviously, when it comes to the favorite are the New York Yankees this year. They added some pitching like Jameson Taillon, former Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. They also added additional bullpen arms like Justin Wilson and Darren O'Day. This is the team to really win the American League this year. And if I'm Aaron Boone, I might be on the hot seat if I don't win the American League this year.
Yeah, I mean they got to get back to the World Series. It's been a long time, but I don't see them doing that. I think the Yankees are vastly overrated. I think that the team that will go to the World Series coming out of the American League Central, whether that is the Minnesota Twins or the Chicago White Sox, that's my opinion. There, I also I loved them last year, and I'm going to love them again. I even though they were vastly disappointing last year, the Los Angeles Angels, I like them as well out of the AL West. So if I don't see those AL Central teams coming out, then I see that the Angels coming out. But yes, the Yankees are vastly overrated. Their lineup is going to underperform. Giancarlo Stanton is already showing that he is underperforming. I mean, it's just inevitable, and they don't appreciate Clint Frazier enough.
I love Clint Frazier. I love Clint Frazier. We've expressed that in multiple Crush casts before, my love for Clint Frazier. But let's just go to the American League as a whole. Another team that vastly improved, the Toronto Blue Jays, with the addition of George Springer in that young and exciting lineup. And they really showed in that opening series with the Yankees that their bullpen is pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit too young. I know George Springer is there, but I think he is a vastly overrated player. Hits like 250 something every year. But yeah, I think they're a few years away, but they are very fun to watch. They have everybody's kid on their team. Vlad Jr., I really hope that he decides to go to the home run derby, because the home run derby at Coors Field will be one of the best of all time. If it isn't, then it's vastly disappointing. But
there's going to be a lot of home runs in that home run derby for sure, especially with Coors Field being a very favorable hitter's park.
We need Vlad Jr., Jock Peterson, Bryce Harper, the guys that are good at home run derbies.
They might not be the best players. I know you don't like the Yankees, but Aaron Judge is a great
Aaron Judge, Stanton in there.
We get Stanton in there. That would be.
We need players that are built for the home run derby. The only thing about that, and I apologize for digressing here, is that the Colorado Rockies don't really have that home run derby guy right now. So we might get a Ryan McMahon sighting or a Charlie Blackmon sighting in the home run derby. And neither of those guys are home run derby players.
It's fine. One is okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about a little bit more of the American League. Who's going to be your team coming out of that division? I know the Rays might have digressed a little bit according to some, but they're, of course, the Rays. They know how to work with their financial aspects. The Red Sox apparently improved, but so far haven't been so good so far this year. The Orioles, they might be in first right now, but, they're the Orioles. So what team do you have coming out of the American League East?
Yeah, the Orioles will have a good April, and then they'll just fall off after that. That's about usual. They'll come back down to the mean there. No pun intended with John Means, their ace starter. One of the best pitchers in the American League East, by the way, but just is toiling away in Baltimore. But no, I would go with, I think the Yankees are going to come out and win that division. They'll get, 94, 95 wins. but I just don't see them coming out of they'll probably get to the championship series, but again, I just don't see them actually getting to the World Series.
I have actually the Blue Jays winning the division this year.
Wow.
Being the wild card team out of that division. I just really like the Blue Jays. I think they're being underlooked a little bit by some. Overlooked by a lot, but also, overlooked by many, excuse me, but underlooked in some aspects. So do you see two American League East teams making the playoffs?
Yeah, 2 or 3, honestly. I think we could see 2 or 3 out of the division.
Which teams would that be?
I'm gonna go with 2, and I'm gonna go with the Yankees. I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Rays. Like I said, I think the Blue Jays are a few years away, maybe a year away. I do like their roster, but the Rays just somehow figure it out every year. I could see them getting 90, 91 wins, getting a wild card spot. I wish they had kept the expanded playoffs. That was instead of like the runner on second rule, like that rule's lame, but the expanded playoffs was cool. Not as many teams as last year, but maybe like a 7th team. That would be nice. But yeah, I don't think the Blue Jays are quite there. So I'll go with the Yankees and the Rays making it.
Okay, so now let's move on to the Central. As I said before, though, for the American League East, I had the Yankees and Blue Jays. But for the American League Central, you like that division a lot. You like the Twins and the White Sox. I love the White Sox, and the White Sox are going to be a really, really good team this year. I think that team's going to come out of the Central. The Tigers, they're definitely not there yet. They might finish with the worst record in baseball. And the Royals,
they're kind of fun, though.
They're kind of fun.
Miguel Cabrera's back.
He is back. We'll see about that. Royals, they're not really expected to complete, and Cleveland definitely took a big step back with their offseason moves this year. So do you see Cleveland, Kansas City, or Detroit making any sort of push for the Central, or are you really focusing in on the White Sox or the Minnesota Twins?
The White Sox and the Twins are going to be very good. I could see both of them making the playoffs. However, Cleveland has a pitching staff maybe that tops the American League. Like Shane Bieber is insane. They have Tristan McKenzie. They have Zach Plesac. Like that pitching staff is insane. They made a good decision. Getting rid of Corey Kluber. Like he, as much as he's maybe going to bounce back to the Yankees, he hasn't been the same since he left. He's 35, I guess, or almost 35 now. And so, I really like their pitching staff, and they still have Jose Ramirez out there. So I think that Cleveland could surprise some people. They don't need Francisco Lindor. He's a great player, but he's just one guy. So I think that everybody's just, they lost Lindor, they're done. No, they still have Jose Ramirez. They still have, the starting pitching. They need to make sure that their guys follow the COVID protocols, because that seems to be an issue in Cleveland. But shout out Jose Ramirez for having a COVID protocol violation and missing the spring training game that I went to between the Rangers. Shout out terrible COVID protocols there, and the Cleveland Indians. But so they need to follow the COVID protocols and they'll be okay. But yes, I do love their pitching staff, and I think that Jose Ramirez, when he is actually playing, is a very good player.
So, quick prediction for the division. I'm going to go with the White Sox winning the American League Central, but I don't see any other American League Central team this year coming out of that division and making the playoffs. I think you'll disagree, but what is your prediction for that division?
I'm going to say White Sox and the Minnesota Twins, but it'll be a battle between the Twins and the Indians, actually, because I think that Cleveland's going to be a little bit better than people say they are going to be.
Well, their start isn't really too good, but we'll see.
But again, this is we can preview it. We can preview it today. It's fine. It's not like this season is wrapped up in. This is not a 60-game season where 5 games.
That would be bad if it was. Anyway, let's move to the League West. That division is a little bit of a toss-up, especially right now with the Oakland Athletics being winless. Either way, other than that, I really only see the Astros and the Angels competing for that division spot. The Astros still got talent. I'm a little concerned, honestly, with their pitching depth as a whole, like their bullpen, but their lineup is still pretty good. The Angels, I'm actually really, really excited for, and think this is the year they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they'll win the division. But remember when I said the Yankees would be the wildcard team? I think they'd be facing off the Angels in that wildcard game. We've also seen early on in the season the Angels not use a designated hitter and have Ohtani bat second with the pitcher spot, and that is something I love.
Ban the DH.
And they should keep doing that. Ohtani's velocity is back. Obviously, Ohtani's consistent issue has been control, and that's something he needs to work on still. He does walk a lot of people, but if he can get that fixed, he can be a real dynamic player for the Angels. But I'm just going to go with predicting here. I think the Astros actually win the American League West, but the Angels come in second, and they face the Yankees in the wildcard game.
Yeah, I think that the A's, I just don't see them doing anything, unfortunately, because I love when Oakland is good. They've got a small but very fun fan base. It's great to have fans back in that stadium because it's, the limited amount that are there are always very rambunctious. And they bang on drums in right field. They have, chants. It's a good vibe there. But I don't think that they're going to be very good this year. Texas is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Joey Gallo is about it for them. He's not even that good. And then we've got the Angels, the Astros. I don't think the Astros are going to be very good, actually. I think that they've just not been the same team since everybody figured out that they were cheating.
I agree.
So honestly, I only see the Angels coming out of this division. I think I think this division's not going to be strong as a whole. I think that the winner of this division needs to get to somewhere like 87 or 88 wins. And so, yeah, I think I project like an 88 and 74 Angels team to get out of that division. But, Dylan Bundy started to come around, of course, because when he leaves Baltimore, that's what happens when pitchers leave Baltimore, they become good. So Dylan Bundy's been good. They've got Ohtani as both a pitcher and a hitter. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's the key. If he stays healthy, if he can produce, then, if he can stay healthy at both positions. And then, of course, you got Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon. Those guys are great players. And so they got a really good team. They just got to put it together. Obviously, Joe Madden is the best manager in baseball, in my opinion. So they just got to put it together. But I don't think they need to get to too many wins this year to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely a weaker division as a whole. But as you see, Cortland Crush baseball fans, Jesse and I are having great fun talking about baseball. There is more to come on your way here on the Crush Cast. When we come back, we will preview the National League. But first, here's a message from our sponsors.
Hey Crush fans, today's broadcast of the Crush Cast is brought to you by Cayuga Medical Center, a member of the Cayuga Health Systems. Cayuga Health, the right care, right here.
This episode of the Crush Cast is also brought to you by Tompkins Trust Bank in Cortland, New York, where no matter what your business goals are, they have a variety of options to fit your needs. Locally owned, trustworthy banking.
Hello, Cortland Crush baseball fans, and welcome back to another edition of the Crush Cast. Earlier on, we previewed the American League for Major League Baseball, but now it's time to go right into the National League. And we're going to start with the National League East, as many call this probably the best division in baseball. And I wonder if Jesse's going to have some sort of hot take about this, because he is coming in hot with all these takes. But myself, Steve Durr, believes that the National League East is the best division in baseball. I mean, the Mets are revamped right now, even though they had a slow start this season. Atlanta was one game away from going to the World Series. A slow start so far, but, they're getting together. Philly's hot start right now, and they have a good team as a whole. I mean, you can't count out Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto. The Nationals, Juan Soto, Trey Turner, decent pitching staff as well, with Strasburg, Scherzer, Corbin, Lester, veteran at the back end. The bullpen hasn't been that bad so far. And the Marlins, who were young and exciting last year, snuck into the postseason in that expanded format. I mean, Jesse, I'll give you the floor here. What do you expect from the National League East? Because I'm expecting a close, tight-knit race.
Yeah, this division's fire. I think we could see 3 teams out of this division because the central of the NL is awful. It's just the Cardinals and nobody else. Like, we can skip that division. I think the Reds don't have Bauer. Like, Not feeling anybody but the Cardinals. If we want to just skip that division, it's okay with me. But the NL East, I think that the Mets are going to be good. I'm on the bandwagon. I know you jumped on the bandwagon last year a little bit too early on the Mets.
Everyone got hurt again.
I mean, that's true. And Cespedes just decided to just leave and not tell anyone.
Why not?
And then he's just not playing baseball anymore. That was interesting. But actually, I got to go with the Mets to win this division. I think the Braves will finish in second. Then I'm going to go out on the limb and I'm going to say that the Marlins will finish in third.
Whoa!
I think that once the Marlins get Sixto Sanchez back, they have one of the best pitching staffs in Major League Baseball. And then they need hitters, and I'm not sure they have it. But then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go Nationals, and then I'm gonna go Phillies. Phillies are vastly overrated. Bryce Harper, most overrated player in the league.
I placed in last place also.
Somehow. I think that the Nationals have Juan Soto and Trey Turner. And that pitching staff, Scherzer's looked pretty good to start the season. I didn't know what he was going to do this year. Strasburg, he's got to stay healthy. But yeah, I think that the Phillies are overrated. Rhys Hoskins hasn't really been the player that people thought he was. He's a good player, really good player. He's going to hit you 25 home runs, drive in 90 runs, hit like 255. But he's not that Rhys Hoskins that we saw in his rookie season when he came up and just took the entire league by storm. So, and their bullpen is just not good. So.
I don't know how their bullpen's holding up right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go Mets, then I'm gonna go Braves, and then I'm gonna go Marlins, Nationals, and
you have both the Mets and Braves making the postseason.
Yes, and I think that division is gonna beat up on itself too much for the Marlins to sneak in there, but they'll be like 80 and 82 or 81 and 81. They'll have a good year, just not a playoff season.
I have the Braves winning the division with the Mets coming in second, playing in the wild card game. I have the Nationals in third, Marlins in fourth, and then the Phillies also in last. I also think the Phillies are vastly overrated as well. Let's move on to the Central.
Do we have to talk Central?
We can go very brief.
Go very brief here. Because
the Cardinals, they upgraded a lot. I think they'll be great, considering they're in a bad division. I mean, the Pirates will probably be the worst team in baseball. Actually.
Yes, the Pirates will be the worst team in baseball.
They're already 1-5.
Yes.
The Brewers, they do have Yelich. They have a decent lineup of pitching. They have not good pitching whatsoever. So that's going to be an issue for them. The Cubs are too stuck on 2016 when they won the World Series. I got that year right. Yeah, 2016.
Yes, 2016.
And I just don't think that roster is built for this era anymore. And the Reds, I do like. I think you're underrating them a little bit.
They'll be in second.
But they'll be in second. But I think we both have the Cardinals winning the division. I think that would be pretty easily as well. They have good pitching staff, especially probably the best pitching staff in the National League Central. Maybe the Reds are competing them a little bit. And adding Paul Goldschmidt obviously helps them tremendously. They have a good lineup now. Yachty came back, and he's still an elite catcher. This team is really ready to play.
Yeah, so you got Arenado, you got Goldschmidt.
And Arenado. I completely forgot about that. How do you not forget about
Arenado? You got Goldschmidt, you got Yachty, you got a great pitching staff. I think that they might win the most. They might win the most games this season, but that's just because of the product of the division. So I could see them getting somewhere between 105 and 110, and then I'd go probably Reds, Brewers, Cubs, and then Pirates. Pirates are gonna win like 45 games this year. It's gonna be rough. Let's move on from that.
Let's move on. Good talk about. We'll go to the NL West. Two powerhouses now with the great upgrades the Padres made this offseason. And so we have San Diego, and you also have the Los Angeles Dodgers, the defending World Series champions. And then after that, you take a big step down with the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Rockies. Jesse, I can see you not agreeing with me here, somewhat at least. Do you have the Dodgers and Padres finishing the top two, or is just something telling you otherwise for some reason?
No. So D-backs, Arizona Diamondbacks, they're going to be shout out Archie Bradley, not on the team anymore. They're going to finish in last. Rockies are going to finish in fourth. The Giants, they have a good team. Not great, 72 win team or something like that. But yes, the Dodgers and the Padres will be very good. I think I don't really think that Tatis being out for a while is going to really hurt the Padres. I actually don't even think he's the best player. I don't even think he's their best player. I think that Manny Machado, people forget that Manny Machado was insane and was very good last season. So yeah, Manny Machado and Eric Hosmer are there. And they're very good. Their pitching staff is loaded. I still think they finish in second.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think that they're not ready yet to win the division. And I think the Dodgers will win the division if Bauer is good Bauer, because there's good Bauer and then there's
bad Bauer.
There's like 3-4 starter Bauer. That's like 14-12 with a 4 ERA. And I'm like, this guy's just like, I can't decide if he's famous because he's good or if he's famous because he talks a lot. So
yes.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers narrowly over the Padres, but I don't think the Dodgers are gonna get to the World Series.
Okay, so now you just led me on because I have the same thing, Dodgers, Padres. Let's go a very quick run through of the postseason here to wrap up our Crush Cast. So we'll stay with the NL first. You have the Mets win division, you have the Cardinals win division, and the Dodgers win division. So in the wild card game, you have the Braves and Padres. Who wins that wild card team?
Padres.
Wild card game, and who advances? Just give me the whole rundown.
Padres are going to get to the World Series. They're going to win the wild card game and get all the way to the World Series.
So who they beat after the wild card game? They beat the Dodgers in the postseason, or they beat the Cardinals because they might have a great record because of that terrible division?
I think that the Cardinals will not be prepared for the Dodgers, so I think it'll be an NL West showdown in the championship series, and then we'll get the Padres pitching will outlast the Dodgers pitching because Kershaw looked really bad in his opening start.
Well, I'm gonna go actually with the Mets beating the Padres in the wild card game because of DeGrom, and I think DeGrom, and even though the Mets blow it somehow for them. For him every time. I'm going Mets. I think DeGrom just outlasts either Darvish or Snell, whoever they go with. I think the Mets then fall to the Dodgers in 5. Then I have Atlanta once again. Then I have Atlanta beating the Cardinals. And then I have the Dodgers once again going to the World Series because, they're that good. They really just improved, I guess, from what they did last year. I can't go against them. So I'll just go to the American League quickly. Just because why not? The Blue Jays win the division. They also finished the best record in the American League. Hot take. Hot take.
Flames.
Then
wow.
So the Yankees beat the Angels in the wild card game. They beat the Blue Jays in the divisional series. I have the Astros beating the White Sox in the postseason just for experience. And then I have a rematch of the Yankees-Astros Revenge World Series with the Yankees, not World Series, American League Championship Series, with the Yankees coming back and beating them in 6. But then the Dodgers go back-to-back and beat the Yankees. And as much as it is for me to say that, I think that's going to happen. The Yankees pitching just doesn't match the Dodgers pitching. Their lineups can at times. The Yankees lineups, though, I don't like their lineup for the postseason just because there's so many strikeouts involved in that lineup. Anyway, that's my World Series prediction. Yankees, Dodgers winning I'll go about 6 games as well.
So Pablo Torre on ESPN for years picked a 16 seed over a 1 seed. And this is my version of the Pablo Torre take. I said it last year. I'm going to say it again. The Los Angeles Angels will get to the World Series. They're going to defeat the White Sox in the championship series. And then so that'll be my prediction. And then the wild card game, I believe I said it's going to be the Rays against the Minnesota Twins, and I see the Rays winning that game. Unfortunately, the Twins will not will go another playoffs without winning a game. Unfortunate times for them.
All right. Well, you heard it here from the broadcasters for the 2021 Crush season. Jesse has the craziest World Series matchup of all time, and I have a pretty basic World Series matchup.
Padres Angels, shout out Southern California.
You love Southern California. But thank you for tuning in to this edition of the 2021 Crushcast. I'm Steve Durr, and enjoy the rest of your day.